just show up. That's it. I show up. Scott and Lori feed me. It's awesome.
You didn't even eat.
I told you about
I made a pizza from scratch and you didn't even eat.
That's because I ate an entire Qdoba
It was an
cheese-crusted quesadilla by myself in one sitting.
This was an Aldi pizza that
it was really worth it too. So good. Ah, geez, I bet it was great.
And funny, they're opening the big news. So we are in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, or as some folks call it, the North Boroughs, is where we filmed this. Ben Avon, like the sweetest little village on the Ohio River.
Oh, it is.
Right next to Avonworth High School. They really got their demographic right because Chipotle is opening a new restaurant, and it is walking distance from Avonworth High School.
Oh, geez, that was smart.
Like Owen, my son, has told me no less than 5 times. Says Chipotle's opening on Friday. Chipotle, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. And I asked him point blank. I was like, how long do you think it'll take you to get there from school? Like 6-7 minutes? And he was like, oh yeah, nice, Unk. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what 6-7 means. I don't know what Unk means.
Oh, that's
I don't know
right.
I don't know what any of it means, but that's
you said
what
6-7 minutes, so you were cool.
Threw at us. Anyway, welcome again. Thanks for joining us. We had a little bit of a break over Christmas and New Year's. And to be perfectly fair, we did film another episode that was to air after Christmas. And I don't like to name and shame companies unless it means I'll get a replacement, in which case I will name and shame.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, they know how you feel. You left the review.
I ordered, I like literally saved up and ordered a 16 terabyte hard drive to do the editing for this show.
I don't know what any of that means.
It's mucho grande.
Okay.
It's mucho grande.
Okay.
Very large.
That I know.
Very large hard drive. And I had all the episodes on there. I had all my personal videos from when I'm out playing and doing my solo thing. And as I was importing the episode in, because I put it off, I was like, oh, I'm having a good time. I don't need to edit the next episode. I was like, all right, Monday morning, let me start editing and get this thing published by Wednesday. And as I'm working in my computer, my Mac comes up and goes, you ejected this drive incorrectly. And I'm like, didn't do that. And then the hard drive was just going beep, beep, beep. And I lost.
Oh, that's so sad.
I lost the whole episode. I lost the episode backups. And I contacted the vendor, the manufacturer, over 10 days ago. And they still haven't replied to me yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not happy. I was like, hey,
you should have waited.
It was within.
You shouldn't have left the review right away. You should have waited.
Well, I didn't leave the review. I initiated the return. But this is the review.
Okay, but didn't you leave a review?
You
sent me a review. You left.
I tagged them in a couple of things. I was like, hey.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Seagate, your shitty hard drive failed on me. For no reason. And it was within 30 days of getting it.
Okay.
So it's been 10 days. And the reason this is important is because at a certain point, I'm going to have to take that case apart, take the actual physical hard drive out, and try and hook it up to some of the other methods I have to try and extract that data. It may work, may not work. But at a certain point, I just got to be like, that money's gone. It's not coming back.
Oh,
and then I have to find another solution. But off camera, you were mentioning a new singer that you wanted to mention?
Yes, Becky McConigal. So this is a friend of mine. I've known her for quite a while, and we were like see each other at certain shows that we were fans of. And I'd heard her singing harmony, singing along with whoever was up on stage. And I said, you have a beautiful voice. And she was like, oh, no. I was like, you do. You have a gorgeous voice. Do you sing? And she's just like, oh, no, I always wanted to. But, my husband, who's now deceased, after I found this out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he passed But this happens with so many people with talent. I've heard this story over and over with my voice students. He told her she really shouldn't sing. That was a bad idea. And so she hadn't sung her whole life. And now she is in her late 60s, I think. And I talked her into coming and doing karaoke with me at Antonio's. Thank you, Dom and Tina. Because like we can just like play with it ourselves. If you've ever done it, you know that you just walk right up and plug in the song and it shows up on the screen. Becky and I were the only ones there. And Tina heard us. Tina was working that night. And she was in the kitchen and she heard me singing. And she was like, that sounds like Jenny Kay. And she came out and she sang. She has Tina Betters has a beautiful voice. And she sang. So Becky got up and she sang a John Denver song and she crushed it. It was gorgeous. But she was nervous and, you know, I sent it to her. I was like, she's going to hate this because she's being so self-critical, but it was still gorgeous. Well, I haven't seen her in a while, and she showed up at Jane West's open mic at the Arsenal Cider House in Dormont.
We're gonna need to pass a rule that every time Jane West's name comes up, no, it's like when Jane West.
We should have a tally, a counter.
Yeah, like every time Jane's name is mentioned, one, I should do a shot of some whiskey. And then be completely hammered.
You'll be hammered at the end of the podcast.
There is indications that in one of our future episodes, if not the next episode.
She said yes. She said she'd be happy.
We will have Jane on the show.
We should have Becky.
Jane followed me on Instagram.
Oh, good. Yeah, I sent her your info.
Yeah, she must have. I'll follow.
No, she said she'd be happy to. So Becky, my sister and I were the featured act at at Jane's open mic, and I saw Becky after we were done, and she was sitting way down at the end of the bar, and she'd brought her guitar, and I was like, are you going to play? Are you going to play a song? And she was like, I don't know, probably not. I'm too late. And everyone's like, oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, since I had last seen her or heard her sing, she read the book Let Them by Mel Robbins, and it just broke her out of whatever it was holding her back.
Nice.
She was like, look, I don't have, I'm going to live my best life. I only have so much time left, you know, and this is what I'm going to do. And so she brought her guitar and she got up towards the end, and the room was still packed full of people. And she sang this song. It was an original written by Jim Relja's mother. Jim Relja's a performer. Oh, you know who Jim is? Well, his mother apparently is a phenomenal songwriter.
Did not know that.
And this song was amazing. Becky sang it, and I have never heard a voice like that, ever.
Really?
It's absolutely blew me away, blew the whole room away. So she hits the money note, and she just like let it all out. Like I had no idea she could do that, because I thought she's going to get up, sound pretty, be nervous, but still sound great. This was completely what I was not expecting her to just belt out and she put her entire soul into it. She hit the money note that was written to be a money note. You know, the whole room went nuts. The whole room. She wasn't even done with the song.
I wasn't even there.
And the room erupted because it was everybody. I was crying. I was just like, this is unbelievable. And I was just like, we got to get you out singing. You need to front your own band. You shouldn't be singing backing harmonies for anybody.
You never said any of that
some
to
of my
me.
stuff.
And it makes me wonder.
Well, you are fronting your own band. You're a solo. You're a wonderful solo singer. Are you kidding? You're fantastic.
Nah.
This was
I'm fantastically hungry.
I have never heard anything like this, really. And I like you and Jane are like amazing, but Becky is like, she's right up there with you guys, and she's just like, nobody knows that she sings.
Well, she needs to get
so
on stage
I was
a little
like,
bit more.
I have a bag full of beaded dresses. You know, for you need to have somebody, you know, you should not be just like stand up and sing and have a backing band. So I sent her my SoundCloud. But I was just like, I want you to pick out the belters, the stuff that's going to make you like that, you know?
Yep.
And she's like, okay, I'll sing some harmony. I was like, you're not singing harmony for me.
No,
you're
singing
a
lead singer. Yeah.
I am singing harmony, you know? But anyway.
I can't do that.
She is fantastic. You can't sing harmony?
I can't sing harmony.
You can't? I'll teach you.
Okay, so I've struggled because, you know, there are songs that I want to sing with a woman, a female, a person of the opposite singing octave. And I've tried to do this with several other musicians, like my friend Wendy. Mm-hmm. an amazing singer and piano player who just doesn't gig, and she really should. But we did, and I couldn't get there. It's like my brain short circuited when I tried to find where, as a man in a lower range, where I need to be to support.
I can show you some tricks.
I just can't get there.
It's not as hard as you think, especially if you just go up the third. So you picture, if you're visual, and you picture the melody line here, like this. And then the harmony line can either be up here, the third, or up the fifth, or it can be below the third. And you're just kind of traveling along with the melody, only a third down. And you'll hear it when it clicks. You'll hear it resonate and you have wonderful pitch. You have great pitch, and you're never flat. You're never sharp, unlike me.
I'm not mentally sharp.
I'm vocally flat all the time.
Absolutely,
I am.
not.
I have to work very hard to maintain my pitch, really hard. Oh,
Even on One Drunk Neighbor with a Gun.
Oh God,
it's the greatest song.
That is
the greatest. This is the greatest song I've ever heard.
Goes south when you least expect it. This is called One Drunk Neighbor with a Gun. If I had my gun, she said, well, I'd pull that trigger and you'd be dead. She's one drunk neighbor with a gun. Oh God!
Is Jenny's One Drunk Neighbor with a Gun?
It's a true story too,
and
man.
it's you know,
rest your soul.
I tell people all the time that I have no discernible talent when it comes to music. I merely copy what other people have done.
But part of being talented is being a good mimic and knowing who to copy.
I can mimic.
But you sing phenomenally. Come on.
But I can't. I have no talent when it comes to writing, and I have. If I were to write them, I have books and books that I could write about pain and happiness and sorrow and things that I've been through, but I just can't. Like one of the things that I had mentioned I wanted to touch on briefly, where we had a slight disagreement, is because we've touched on issues with booking and booking agents. I don't want to speak for Jenny, but I think we're on the same page. We're not generally fans of booking agents. And half of that is probably because no booking agent has ever reached out and be like, I want you to work for me. It's never happened. At least not for me.
Oh, that's what happened to me. But then they made sure I knew that I was their very, very, very last choice.
Yeah,
or they book over me. Or
not a fan.
Remember when you asked me what is it? And I'm sorry, I'm straying from our original. But you had asked me our last episode, what makes you walk away?
Yes.
And I said when I'm forced to defend my worth, but also dishonesty.
Yes.
You know, I forgot that. I was like, oh, when I catch somebody in a lie. You know, which happened a couple times.
So when we speak of dishonesty, when I gave you the Dove chocolate heart, was not a declaration of love. It was like, here's some chocolate. So
I didn't think it was a declaration.
Good. Very good. Lori might have a word about that if it was. All kidding aside.
Come on, whenever you give someone chocolate, it's
you didn't eat it yet?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm saving it.
We bought that. We bought the first bag of those like 5 days ago.
I'm still full from my quesadilla.
They're so good.
But any giving of chocolate, no matter the relationship, is a declaration of love.
I agree.
It can be
chocolate
platonic.
It is the language of universal love.
It is.
But I did want to touch on just personally how I get to. It's January for those of us that play acoustic and gig and book out. January and February.
On?
A little bit. I'll elaborate it. It was just it wasn't a disagreement on the subject matter. It was the disagreement of, well, we already covered that. And I'm like, well, let me just touch on it for a second. Let me just touch for a second. And it was,
this is your
just for a second. Just for a second. It's like, and I get down to where it's January and February notoriously slow for all of us, and then March it starts picking up. Then by summer it's like there's festivals, there's patios, there's all these really cool things you get to do, and it was just like where I get to the point now where I start cold emailing these venues, and then you start seeing most of them are like, oh, we have all these shows by all these 412 Productions and Gray Roots Productions and all these made up names. And 412 Productions may be a legit thing.
I like Gray Roots Production, only booking people over 50.
We Silver Roots. That's what it should be. Silver Roots.
Silver Roots.
Well, it's like if you're old and you leave and nobody knows where you go, they issue a silver alert.
Oh, they do.
That's a real thing.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing.
Oh, of course, because people with memory deficits and such will wander off.
They will wander off. So it's Silver Alert.
That's also a great band name.
Nobody take that. We're going to keep that. One of us is very gray.
Oh, I am.
So, but no, it's just one of those frustrating things where it's like, if you don't see my schedule fill up anymore this year, it's just that I gave up trying. It's like, and like we had said off camera, you get to the point where you're like, I'll just see if the phone rings. I'll do the best I can with presenting my media, my online presence, which now I just emailed a place today. It was like the Downtown Pittsburgh Partnership or something like that. And it was like looking for acoustic performers. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got all my stuff put together.
For free. That Market Square thing?
This wasn't for Market Square. This was for somewhere else.
I think it's free.
Okay. Well, then
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, Pittsburgh Downtown Partners, I'm so sorry.
It was something. I'll show you. I'll put a graphic up so everybody can see what it was.
Okay.
But it was like calling out.
I could totally be wrong. So again.
And it was like, send us your info, your bio, your all this. And the very last thing was, and your Instagram, because they want to know how many followers you have in the social media world. And I'm an old white man, so my online presence is bigger than it should be for my age.
It's great. His website, scottacoustic.com, is amazing. Your Instagram is great. Your Facebook presence. I think you're crushing the social media.
But it still comes down to where
Jane is too, and she's not even on Facebook.
But it all comes down to, we don't care if you put on a good show. We don't care if you sound good. We don't care if you entertain a crowd. How many social followers do you have? And it's that point where I'm like, when am I going to turn into the old man with a tractor that I just, putter around on my tiny little farm? And kids these days are out there playing in them venues. And when am I just going to become that guy? It's just like, I'll just chop wood in the wintertime. And in the summertime, we'll swim in our instant pool. And
that's what Zach Galifianakis did.
Yeah.
He went and bought a farm in North Carolina.
So Dave Chappelle did that in Ohio.
Yes, he did. That's right.
And Kevin Costner did that in the entire West. Once you cross Colorado, everything belongs to Kevin Costner. But that was just my little diatribe. I wanted to just vent for a second
true.
on.
I don't think we didn't touch on it in that
context. Like,
no.
It's like I want. There's so many venues out there that I want to reach out to, and if you know any, or if you're a venue owner, hit me up. Let's talk. And the other thing is, like I've showed you, and I probably discussed this before, I don't hide my rates. Like 90% of the people who do what we do, my rates are negotiable, let's talk. And I don't do that. I put it right there. Most musicians don't do that. You go to my website, it shows you exactly what my prices are. So
and you're still getting booked.
And I'm still getting booked. As a matter of fact, I got booked yesterday at one of my, I had played at this place before, and he reached out and he was like, hey, we want to have you back. We're starting Acoustic again. Very, very nice guy. And he was like, can you show me can you tell me what dates you're available? And I'm like, oh, here's my website. Here's a direct link to my booking page that shows what my rates are and what dates I'm available. And it's
professional.
Within minutes, he comes back. He's like, perfect. I see that you're available January 29th. Is that too soon? I'm like, no, let's do it right now. He already knows how much I charge, when I'm available, and it makes it so easy. So those of you out there doing your own booking, which it's like a third job if you have a full-time job, just booking yourself is a job by itself. Make it easy for you, make it easy for the clients out there, the potential clients, and just put it out front. And the other thing that I don't think we touched on is, as artists in this business, when we are transparent about what our rates are, it's better for all of us. Because I have a friend of mine, I'm trying we made some mistakes in our last podcast where I had to bleep a whole bunch of stuff out. We had hit the bottle quite hard that
It was
night.
the holidays.
It was the holidays. It was between Hanukkah and
And
Christmas.
you can really see it too. Like our
Oh my
hats are
God.
all like this, and I'm like,
I'm
and
wearing.
another thing.
I've got a scarf. It's the weirdest thing ever. But it's like I have a friend of mine, a fairly successful solo musician, as well as a great guitar player for several bands. And he had invited me to an event on Facebook, which the jury's still out on whether creating a Facebook event is a waste of time or if it actually works. Sometimes half the people that say they're going actually show up. Sometimes I'll get 30 people are showing up and goose egg,
Yeah.
nobody's there. But this friend of mine invited me to a show at a place in South Hills Village. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a bar that has acoustic. And I was like, oh, hey, I'll come check you out. He's a friend of mine. I want to support him. And I was like, when I'm there, when it's all over, can you introduce me to whoever, books you there and see if we can talk? And he's like, oh, you wouldn't be interested because they only pay $150. And I was like, that's it. That's their flat rate. And I'm like, is that what you accepted? He goes, well, we negotiated, and it's, I believe transparency and what we get paid is better for all of us.
Absolutely. And not allowing yourself to play for nothing, and here's a beef I have that has been a constant conversation. This is how we met.
It is.
Because we were on the same side of this argument on Facebook, you and Annie and I and several other people.
Mm-hmm.
When people play for free or for next to nothing, they will often justify it by saying, well, I just do it because I really love it, as if we don't.
Yeah.
As if we're doing, as if we're doing it for pay because it's such a sweet, sweet deal financially. But, they say, I just do it. It's like a false virtue. It's not virtuous to devalue the arts.
No.
And to give away your own art and not value your own worth as an artist. But the bigger picture is it hurts everyone because it drives down the value for everyone. It drives down the cost. So if a venue knows that they can get somebody else to play it for $50 for 2 hours, maybe they're gonna hire them. Well, so and so will do. Okay, great. Well, I guess hire them. But if you name your price, almost always the venue is gonna be like, okay. If they're a reputable venue and they really do support music and they support the arts, they're gonna be like, okay. If it is steep, they will say that seems a little steep. Is there any way, what if we cut it down to 2 hours? Can you lower your price? They'll negotiate in that respect, but just saying, look, this is what I charge for 2 hours to 3 hours for a public gig. Or like with Coal Mine and Patrick, he said, this is what we pay for everybody. This is all we can really pay, because it's a weird spot. We never know if it's going to draw. And then you can make an informed decision, but they feed you, they give you drinks, and they make you feel good about playing there. And they will promote it like crazy. And he's given me wonderful quotes about what I do. So I know going in, this is all they can pay. I know that I will charge a certain amount for Tina and Dom at Antonio's. Which is a slightly lower rate because they have done so much for the community.
Well, and
they also send you home with a whole pizza.
Without a doubt. And just to touch on Antonio's, I give them I'm really bad with words tonight. I give them a different deal because they don't serve alcohol.
Yep.
Everywhere, everywhere I play serves alcohol, and they make 80-90%, all that money they make up in overhead from the sales of the beer. And there's actually a great argument in there that arguably bars would make more money if they only sold soda, because every soda you get is like 10 cents worth of soda and they sell it for like $2. So there's way more overhead on like a Coke or a Pepsi
I had no idea.
than there is on a beer.
I had no idea.
But yeah, Antonio's doesn't sell alcohol.
That's a really good point.
So they don't have that overhead. They sell pizza.
They're a pizzeria.
They're a pizzeria, and their buffalo chicken pizza is the stuff of legends.
Their pizza
It
is
is
amazing.
so good.
Their pierogi pizza. Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'm not that Pittsburgh. I haven't
It's a
gotten there
Pittsburgh
yet.
thing. Pierogi pizza is mashed potatoes on a white sauce pizza covered in garlic mashed potatoes covered in cheese.
See, I'm
and then
afraid-
covered. Wait, I'm not done.
Go on.
Bacon,
Oh my God.
real bacon,
So you had
and more cheese.
you had me because if like right there, I'm like Lori would swim on that until the bacon. The bacon killed it. I'm like I could sleep on a bed of bacon.
Ridiculous.
But Lori, yeah, once you put the bacon on it, she's out. So tell me your thoughts on we had discussed our topics for tonight's episode.
Which, of course, we will stray from.
We will absolutely stray. We've already strayed several times. I myself strayed 18, 20 times. But Jenny wanted to talk about the moment on stage when you're in front of a crowd and you just know you got them. You're in the zone. And let's dive into your impressions on being in the zone.
It happens. It doesn't happen often because my stage fright is so crippling, and we'll segue into that in a little
We
bit.
will,
But
for sure.
I think it's when I make eye contact with somebody and they're hanging on to the story. A lot of times it's, when Aaron and I, my sister, played famous bass player Aaron Snyder, also known as Candy Mountain, played Jane West.
Oh, sorry.
We were the featured act at her open mic.
Jane West.
I knew I was in bad voice because I hadn't sung in a long time. I hadn't been practicing. And I knew that I wasn't playing well because I hadn't been practicing. I hadn't practiced since camp. So let's see. Camp
mean
was the first week of September.
Band camp?
Songwriter camp, yes. And then Todd died, Todd Snyder, my camp counselor and hero and our mentor at camp. Yeah, it was really sad. He died a month or two later. And I kind of I didn't do anything. So I didn't do anything from the beginning, from Labor Day. And then when was the open mic? Was in December.
Did you wear white?
No.
Can't wear white after Labor
Can't
Day.
wear white after Labor Day. I learned that the hard way in college.
Did you get beat up?
When a sorority girl came up to me and she said, "You always wear white." And it was because I just couldn't put together an outfit. So I just was like, "Oh, I'm just going to wear white all the time." And she came up to me and she was like, "You always wear white." And I was like, "I have no idea what you wear because I pay no attention to you whatsoever." I didn't know who she was or anything.
From your impression, she sounded very snooty.
She was being really mean.
You can't wear white.
And she was like, "Well, I got teased because I was a country girl. The city girls made fun of me and my shoes and my accent and all of that." I talked like a hillbilly from New York. But anyway,
Fair enough.
yeah, then that's how I learned you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day. But
Okay.
I did anyway because fuck her.
Indeed, fuck her.
So anyway, so I
Connected.
knew I wasn't going to sing well. I knew I wasn't going to play well. And it was a packed house and there were all these other singer-songwriters there. And I was like, well, I went the full June Carter Cash. I just got to make this funny. You know, I'm just going to be funny. And that's easy to do when I'm playing with my sister because Erin is hilarious. And we have the same sense of humor. And so I just was like kind of telling the stories behind the songs and yucking it up. And there were these two girls, two women who were sitting a couple tables away and they were decked out in sequins and they were having a ball. And they thought I was hilarious.
I love it.
I played to them. And I was like, this next song is the song I sing when people request a happy song because I have a lot of sad songs. And so I play
You do.
Jimtown
You
Road,
definitely do.
which makes me happy. And of course, it's a killing song. It's a revenge murder song.
Oh, you
And it
played
makes
that.
me-
I heard you
That's
play
the
that.
one I want you to sing with me.
Okay.
Because it's a duet and you don't know
well, wait a
who the
minute.
abused one is
Okay, I was going
until
to say,
the bridge.
I don't want to be the abused man.
You don't know. You don't know who is abusing
Lori,
who?
because Lori abuses me.
I'm sure she does.
She
yeah.
does.
She's like 4'2" and
She's
weighs maybe 100 pounds.
5 foot.
She's so tiny.
She's 5 foot.
Smacking
She
you
says
around.
she's 5'1".
I shouldn't joke about that. But I do. And so I preface, the murder song, and the women are just like, yeah, and they're listening to the lyrics.
And they need investigated.
And cracking up.
Do they have
the
any
whole song?
Do they have like missing boyfriends, husbands?
I don't know. But my favorite
Dirt under their
lyric I think I have
fingernails.
ever written is, I used to think that guns were bad and only meant for war, but thanks to you, this woman doesn't think that way anymore. I think that is so funny. So nobody ever hears it, Nobody is ever listening. I did that lyric, and they started cracking up. And so I was like, okay. And I felt like even though I sounded terrible and I was nervous and I played poorly, I was in the zone that night because I was connecting with a handful of people who had the same sense of humor. And that will do it for me sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I will be in really strong voice and I will have a connection with the audience already. And usually because it's people I know. I mean, I almost always play, unless it's like the Club Cafe, and then it's terrifying because they're there to see,
It's a very small
Buffalo
room.
Wobs.
It's a very small room, though.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I'm in the zone when somebody is making eye contact with me. They're listening to the lyrics and they're usually laughing or they're crying. Like if it's one that doesn't make fun of itself. And that I just go there, that they'll, when I feel like somebody's really listening or something I sang or wrote resonates with them, then I'll just I remember I was playing, this was in Oregon, and my stage fright was so bad. There were times when I was like, I need to stop. I can't
Really?
continue.
Actually,
oh yeah.
just cut it in half.
Yep. I was not going to be able to do it. And I remembered it was this Christmas party at the lodge in Joseph, Oregon, at the head of the lake at Wallowa Lake. And it was a big full room. And my friend Al, may he rest in peace. Oh God, he was such a great support and mentor. And his son's wife are people I'm going to go see down in New Orleans. They make their living as musicians.
I am insanely jealous
That I'm going to New Orleans.
Well, so
Excited. I've never been.
I made this mistake. It was like 9 years ago, and for my birthday, Lori was like, we're gonna go on a vacation to one of 3 places, and you can pick which one. And it was, we can go back to Tampa Bay, which I lived in Tampa Bay for off and on for about 19 years. Beautiful beaches, Pinellas County, or New Orleans. And I can't remember what the third one was. It was somewhere. And I chose to go back to Tampa Bay, probably because my mom was still there, but I should have chose New Orleans because now I'm desperate to go, and it's like an hour and 45-minute flight. It's
2-hour
not
flight.
Far.
Yeah.
I hate to fly. I'm terrified.
Well, it's a long
terrified
drive,
of
but
flying.
Nashville is at the halfway point.
But Nashville's very crowded.
It's nice. So my friend runs an open mic in Nashville, right on Music Row, and she was like, "You can come and be the featured songwriter, featured act, stay the night." And then, so I've already thought, if I drove to New Orleans,
It's
I
halfway.
could drive that the whole first day. It's 9 hours. It's a tough drive. It's a long day.
It's a boring
Spend the
drive.
night at C4's, play her open mic on Thursday, and then spend the night and then drive down Friday to New Orleans. And see Matt. But no, I'm flying down with my best friend who,
Very good.
but yeah, like
Very jealous. Very
my
jealous.
sister loves New Orleans, and my student Cindy lived there for 10 years. So she's telling me all the places to go. And she's like, "Jen, don't worry that you're only staying for a couple days. This will be one of many. Once you go
You're
down
definitely
there,
gonna go back.
you're going to go back." And I have friends that are musicians there, so, and not that I would get to sit in with them because they're serious pros, but I could just go and see them.
So just real quick, I will. You have a record player?
Not anymore. No, I have a CD player in my car.
So when this is done, as we're packing up, one of my very favorite albums, and you're going to be shocked. Most people will be shocked. It's one of my very favorite albums, and it's one of my favorite vinyls that I have upstairs. I have an extensive vinyl collection upstairs. Is, believe it or not, Hugh Laurie.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Dr. House. And it is him in New Orleans playing piano.
Playing piano.
With some of these greats.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of my favorite. Like, he plays with Tom Jones.
He has
It's amazing.
He's in Treme. Have you seen Treme?
I have not.
Oh, it's a fantastic show. It's about post-Katrina New Orleans. And I watched the whole series when I found out I was going. I was like, oh, and I watched Treme and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a
looks
giant.
amazing.
He's a giant proponent
he's so
of New
talented.
Orleans.
I believe it. But yeah, so we were talking about the zone. How do you know when you're in the zone? And it doesn't have. Oh yeah, there was one time. So I was at the lodge, and I was talking about Al and his son Matt, who's in New Orleans, and I was so nervous I could barely breathe. I could barely play or sing. But there was one person sitting up front, one guy who was just like hanging on to every single thing I sang, and so I just zeroed in on him. Because he was really listening and I didn't feel like I was being judged. Like he was really interested in what I was doing. And so I connected with him and I finished the song and then I had to stop because I couldn't, I was just, I just looked at Al and I was like, I can't. And he was like, do you want to be done? I was like, I got to be done. I can't. And I'd played like 3 songs, but it was a group songwriters in the round. So I was supposed to do 5 or 6, but it wasn't going to happen. And that never happens anymore.
And that was stage fright. Acute.
Absolute, like
so
disabling.
And we haven't talked about this yet, have we? Because I know.
Fright?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So if I may.
Yeah.
So I've always been inspired by friends of mine. I would say inspired. I would say influenced by the high school experience. I had friends. We all had these friends who were the class clowns, right? They had no problem getting up in front of class and saying nonsense and getting thrown out. And we all laughed and they got thrown out of class and we were like, eh. And then you'd see them at lunch or we laugh about it. And I was like, in school, I didn't have the courage to do that. But then I would emulate those people when I got on stage. It's like, and it's a certain like, it's like, Jim didn't have a problem.
Smart.
Yeah. It's like Jim didn't have a problem getting thrown. He knew he was going to get thrown out. So he was funny. He made people laugh and he left. So for me,
he's like, what's the worst that could happen? He's a senator now,
yeah. Like Spanky from the Little Rascals. He was a senator. And it's
or John Belushi.
Or John Belushi, right? And it's that very thing. It's like, I had to tap into that class clown in me. And I don't mean when I'm playing a song. I mean, like when I get up in front of a crowd, some of the like most terrifying.
Because your banter is great. You're just such a natural.
When I started out, you're up in front of these people and, they're looking at you and you're like.
So vulnerable.
And even still to this day, I played a couple hundred gigs, not a terrible much compared to some folks, but, it's not like I get up there and I'm like, I won't do the check, 1, 2, check, because I feel like a douchebag when I do that. So I just turn my mic way up because I know I practice my guitar. I know it's in tune and it sounds good, but the mic I just set it a little higher, and then I'll start back here and then I'll move up on it to make sure the level's good, and then I'll fine tune it. But in those seconds where your guitar's in tune and then you're like people are looking at you like.
Oh, it's so vulnerable. It's
like you think of like when you watch the SpongeBob episodes and they got all the fish that are like this staring at you. It's like they're all looking at you and like you're like, oh God, let me play a song real quick because I wouldn't know what to say. But then I would hearken back to these folks from high school that were the class clowns and be like, if I mess up, nobody's going to come and like whip an axe out and take my head off.
Well, I tried to remember where I heard this. I think it was at a band. It was at a workshop or something at a big festival, and they said, "Here's the thing to remember: every person in that room is on your side. They're rooting for you."
I've never heard that, and I
never had either,
that.
And it's so true. They're rooting for you. They just can't believe you're up there doing the thing that they're terrified to do. And how many people have come up to you and said, I could never do what you do?
Quite a few.
And it
Quite a
happens
few
to me
people.
all the time. I could never do that. Oh, you're so brave.
But there's always that one, and I can pick him out in a crowd. Those of you that are musicians like us, you know
what we're talking about.
You know what we're talking about. I've done this myself, and I feel horrible every time I do it. You pick out the musician in the crowd who's there. He's in the back like this.
Impress me.
There's a guy, when I play Rusty Gold in Canonsburg, there's this one guy that comes in, and he's got the who's the guy from the Cars? Rick Ocasek?
Rick Ocasek.
He's got the jet black hair with a little bit of a side spike and the chain and the black shirt. And every time
he's got a musician uniform.
Every time I'm playing, he comes in and he sits in the back like this. And the first time I played there, I was like, man, this guy doesn't like what I'm doing. What do I do? And then by like the fifth time I saw him, I'm like, oh, there's
he's coming to see you.
Like,
he's a fan.
Yeah, he's coming to see me.
He's a fan.
But as far as stage fright goes, I mean, my stage fright was never like, I can't play, I have to stop. It was almost worse. And some of you guitarists that are tuning in, listening, watching on whatever platform, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're available nationwide, around the world, if you want to listen to us. I used to get crippling pain in my left arm playing guitar. And it was from stage fright because I was so afraid that I would pull a flat note or I would get a buzz from the strings or I would hit the wrong chord.
So you're just like gripping
it was like I used to race motorcycles when I was in high school, and we used to call it panic rev or arm pump because you're holding on to the grips so hard that after a while you just can't hold on anymore. You've destroyed those muscles. Or like, when I was in my early 20s and I was much thinner, I had a friend of mine who introduced me to rock climbing, and we used to go to Cooper's Rock and Dairy Rocks.
Oh, sure.
And you climb for a while, and then after a while, your fingers just can't grip anymore because your forearms are so pumped up. Well, I was getting that with the guitar because I was so afraid of playing the wrong note or giving a sour note or a bad note, and you're holding on. And the other thing, and this is something we need to write on the board to discuss, because as far as everything that goes with performing as a solo musician, I've never seen more people bitch and get pissed off more about the use of a tablet on stage. That is such a hot topic.
My sister hates it.
See, right there.
I think if you're a cover solo act like you and Jane West, and you guys can sing anything, even if you know it like just kind of peripherally, you can still pull it off and have it sound amazing. So, I mean, Jane, like you, has a repertoire. Jane, like you,
come on, man,
has a repertoire of hundreds and hundreds of songs. And she can pull them up, on her tablet and just kind of reference them. But she doesn't have her head buried in the tablet, and neither do you.
No.
But I think it's different. Like, I shouldn't have a tablet because I'm playing songs that I wrote.
Yeah, if I write it, I know what the song is.
Or if I'm in a cover band, or if I'm singing a cover song that's part of my repertoire, I just memorize it. But if I'm taking requests like Scott does and like Jane does.
That's a different story for sure.
And Jane takes requests also. Is that empty? Is that the problem? Oh, that's empty. Okay. Well, you owe Jane too.
No. Well, next time you're controlling the conversation, I'll just pour myself a shot of something. So I owe you and Jane West a couple shots.
But I think when you're taking requests and you got to pull something up just like this, and they're huge crowd pleasers.
That's definitely a thing. Requests takes it out of,
and it's a big part of your living. Because people will tip you $20 to play some of their favorite songs. You got to be able to have them literally at your fingertips. And so I think it's two very different animals.
It is, and like I said, we'll do this on a future.
But people do.
Episode.
They just hate the. tablet,
I've never seen more arguments.
What do you expect?
I've never seen more arguments.
Do you
online.
want this person to memorize 350 songs?
It's like if you follow. There's a Facebook page. Yes, I'm an old white man, I use Facebook.
Oh, I do too. I love it.
Well, there was a great line.
Everybody on it's our age.
There was a great line in, I don't know if you watched Ted Lasso, one of my favorite shows. If you haven't,
I don't have Hulu.
I will gift you Ted Lasso.
I know. Everybody loves it. It sounds wonderful.
It's a good show it just makes you feel like a better person.
That's what you said.
And there's
such a good human.
There's a little line on there where they're talking about beefing up the socials, and Leslie, who's one of my favorite characters, he goes, oh, make sure you put it everywhere except on Facebook, because that's just for old people and racists. And I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's about right. But no, there's a page I follow on Facebook called Cover Band Central, and I think they're doing it just because it's clickbait. They'll put like your opinions, tablets on stage, and then you can like watch the counter.
Yeah.
150, 200, 250, 260, 1,000, 2,000. People just keep hammering on it.
Yeah.
And but we will have a whole segment on that in an upcoming episode.
I think it's necessary when you're a cover artist.
My whole thing is, I'm old. I can't remember. Sometimes I can't remember the word I'm looking for.
A young person can't remember that many songs.
But when
I can't remember words to my own songs that I wrote.
I get that. But when it comes to stage fright, I can remember having the tablet there, because if I forget a verse, if I forget a chorus, what am I going to do? I'm going to panic. So you're like you said, that you don't want to do is you're staring at this tablet. You're like this.
But you can glance down at it.
Oh no! With the stage fright,
oh yeah,
I can't look away from it. Like when I was first starting out, and I had stage fright. When I had stage fright, I couldn't look away from it. So outdoor gigs were great because I could wear sunglasses and nobody would see me staring at this tablet.
Sunglasses are there for a reason.
But now, you learn the balance with it. Make eye contact with the audience, and you balance it. And if you forget something, holy shit, look down. There it is. Okay, let's move on. But the argument I've always had with people, and we'll wrap this up for this topic.
I do want to talk about different stage fright manifestations, though.
Okay, but for the last thing on my stage fright was with the tablet is you have to learn the balance. Look down, look up, look down, look up.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything. I've never, and the very important note to take away on this is I've never once, in probably at this point, over 200 events that I've played, I've never once had somebody come up and say, you'd be better without the tablet. It's never happened.
No.
Nope, not one person has said, I would have tipped you more if you didn't use a tablet.
No.
So tablets on stage.
Can you imagine?
We'll cover that in a future segment. And just as an aside, real quick, I'm going to throw this in there before we wrap up Stage Fright with Jenny. And we are looking for folks to come in and be part of this show. If you'd like to come in and be a guest, if you have some commentary you'd like to add, if you want to challenge us on our opinions, by all means, come in. I think 2 people in addition to us would be okay. After that, I can't afford the food and drinks for that many people. But, so you're manifesting of stage frights.
So once I started playing out a lot, I still had terrible stage fright. And like when I was in the Tatters in California, it would manifest as...
The Tatters?
The Tatters. That was my band in California.
Oh, okay. Not the Tattlers.
No, the Tatters.
Okay.
Tatters.
Okay.
I would get a tickle in my throat.
Okay.
And usually I wasn't the lead. We all sang lead and we all sang harmonies and we take turns on the lead vocals. And when I had a lead vocal, and luckily I didn't have to play guitar and I wasn't playing my own songs, because that's a whole other level of fear.
I can see that.
But I was just a singer and I still had really, really bad stage fright, but it would manifest as a tickle in my throat. And if you're a singer and you get a tickle in your throat in the middle of a song, you have 2 choices. Yeah. Either you got to stop and cough and clear your throat, or you got to power through with a tickle in your throat, which is going to make tears come out of your eyes.
Absolutely.
And you always go for the latter, not the former. Try not to clear your throat if it's in the middle of the song. Now, I'll still get that. But not so much as a manifestation of stage fright as just not being prepared because I didn't do my vocal warm-ups probably. I will turn away and clear my throat and then go back to it. But playing solo is a little more forgiving because I can pause in my own song and make it sound purposeful while I'm going.
Yes.
So that was stage fright manifestation number 1 that lasted 4 years. Then it went away and I stopped having the tickle in my throat. And then I had a new stage fright manifestation. I was unable to form.
Oh, no, I've had that.
Oh my
I've
God,
had
this
that.
makes me feel so much better.
I've had that.
I suddenly couldn't make an A minor.
I've had that.
I mean, most of my songs
Several
are in A and
times.
D minor. I play A minor all the time. That's my go-to chord. Suddenly, I could not form A minor. I remember being at an open mic and having Henry Bachorsky, I think, come up and I said, I need somebody to put my fingers in the A minor position. And everyone laughed. And it's like, I'm not kidding.
I forgot all about that. And
I
I've had
remember
that happen.
when I was playing with Alan Lewandowski, I was just like, this is a new thing, guys. I don't know what's happening, but I need somebody to position me in the A minor. And once I got it, then I can start the song and I'm golden. Sometimes it's a G. Of all things, I'll just forget.
I will say
a G.
for me, it's usually the A shape.
Really?
Yeah. Or there.
The A shape, 3 fingers in a row.
Yep.
Isn't that makes me feel
Yep,
so
absolutely.
much better? I thought I was such a
No,
freak.
it's not you. And I will also say,
Ooh, if anyone wants to comment, write down your stage fright manifestation weirdness in the comments. I'd love to see.
We'll revisit this for
I would
sure.
love to see what other people's stage fright manifestations are.
We're going to do another thing. We should. So we need to have we need a tablet we can write here. So we're going to have tablet discussions of using an iPad tablet on stage. That's an upcoming topic. We should have a topic on difficult chords and how you cheat them.
Oh,
Because I know
I can't bar chord because I have little female hands.
Female. I have fat hobbit sausage fingers, so a lot of chords I can't hit, and I have to find a way to deal with that. But in some complicated songs or songs with a lot of changes, you'll go to.
You've got your
you'll
rolling
go to a B flat. I rarely use that, but like I only use that on songs where I can roll it.
I would master that thing.
Like Woman. By John Lennon that has a key change.
It modulates every,
because
every single
every verse there's a key change. You just move it up, move it up. But when you start getting into you've got 6, 7 chord changes, and you're like, and they're complicated. That's another subject when we're talking like the bar chord for a B minor versus hitting it the correct way. And I've had people. And I shouldn't dive into this. This should be for the topic coming up, but it's like I've had one person in particular. He's a very good friend of mine, but he would come up to me after every gig and be like, "Oh, during that Cure song, I saw you use this chord instead of the real right chord." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I think you should use the F sharp major 7th instead of just the F sharp major." And I'm like,
as long as somebody else is playing the 7th, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and my whole thing was essentially, if it's me and I'm plugged into something recording it, I'm going to do my best to play the perfect chords the exact way. But if I'm playing in front of a crowd that aren't musicians, nobody is going to hear the difference. Not a single person is going to know. Except for that
other
guy.
Musicians.
I looked at your fingers. You didn't have your pink. I was like, dude, come on, man. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm Scott. This is Jenny. This has been Acoustic Talk Unfiltered. Once again, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. We will be simulcasting this on Facebook. And hopefully in our next episode coming up, which we'll be filming in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have
Jane West. I can't wait to send this to her.
And then I think the format we're going to, oh my God.
It's very sweet.
Whoa.
That's a lot of sugar.
It's like 100 proof.
What is this, the Knob Creek?
This is the Knob Creek.
Oh, it's the maple?
It's up there.
It's
90 proof.
This
is 90
no wonder
proof.
it makes me feel warm and fuzzy and happy
Correct.
inside.
But we're going to have Jane West hopefully in our next episode. We'll get that scheduled up. And
I drank when you said Jane West.
Jane West? We're going to have some guests coming up in our next episodes. We're going to be talking about using a tablet on stage. We're going to talk about our favorite topic that we've been holding off forever, which is crazy gig stories.
Oh my God.
We have been waiting forever to do
So
crazy
many.
gig stories. But from Terrace Avenue, I'm Scott. This is Jenny. Thank you guys for hanging out
Thank
so
you.
much.
And
we
please
will,
feel free to tell us some of your stories in the comments section. We'd love to hear them.
yeah, reach out. Let us know. If you're a musician in the Pittsburgh area and you would like to come and sit in with us, by all means, let's do it.
And if you have a topic that you would like to see discussed or you'd like to come in and discuss with us, that would be great too.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And
Bye-bye.
have a great time. But yeah, it's going to be book talk from Terrace Avenue. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Or discussing
I
novels.
love